Mobile Gamers Unite. What's up, YouTube? Today I want to talk a little bit about Arena, PvP and whatnot. I don't see too many videos about this, but in Langrisser you do want to keep your Arena game up because there's just benefits to it. You get resources from it. So I'm just going to cut right to that real quick. The easiest thing that I found to do is to go into these auto battles, okay? And that's not to say that I haven't done actual PvP in this game. I have. It's went great for me. I've also seen it go terrible. One time I was trying to load like a real PvP game, and while I was in the middle of moving my troops around, trying to get everything figured out, everything just went to hell. The thing crashed, and it started the match. It started the match while I was still trying to set my people up. You know, I went from having 30 seconds to all of a sudden I had 2 seconds, and it went terribly for me. My TRS ended up at the very front of the line, and on turn 1, my opponent just pretty much took her out with Leon and just destroyed everything. So I kind of wanted to give that a break until, I don't know, they get that sorted out a little bit, maybe make the transition a little bit smoother, so that I can actually feel like it's not up to a dice roll whether the game goes well or not. So in the meantime, I have been doing these auto battles. Now what I like about this is if you can choose to fight, or you can put it on auto, and if you can win on auto, you get double the points. So that makes it pretty easy to stay up in that threshold where you need to get maximum rewards. So the first thing we're gonna do is every time you click challenge, you're gonna get a power rating. Like this guy's at 14,000 power. Okay, this guy over here, he's at 15. So that's a good score right there. Let's look at the third one. She's at 21,000. So my account right now, my top 5, they're at about 19,000 power. I don't want to challenge this this profile right here because they're stronger than me. You know, their top 5 is stronger than my top 5. So we'll go with a safe bet, and I usually try to go down the middle here. You're still going to get the maximum amount of points very easily. And then what I do is, instead of going to attack, we go into auto battle, okay? And it's going to give you this warning. You know, it says you're going to double your points, but your unit's going to be controlled by the AI. So you don't actually get to play. You pretty much get to be a spectator. But that's all good, and this is cool. And I'm really glad that this game has this option. It's like, instead of doing one or the other, they gave us both. And I'm digging that. That's cool. You know, because sometimes you want to just run these out of the way and get your rewards. Other times you might want to actually sit down and play a game of chess with somebody else, which to me, that's what this is. So one thing I'd like to point out is I might be one of the only people in the world that doesn't run a healer on their PvP team. I just don't do it. And I guess that's preference, but just about every PvP team I see has a healer in it. But what I've noticed is these things are pretty much one and done within a couple of turns. So really, how long does your healer have to be there to be effective? If it's over in two turns, then your healer really doesn't even have a chance to shine. And so typically I would just rather bring somebody that is a beast, can do a lot of damage, can take some, and to me that is more viable than a healer. So instead I have Bernhard here, Bernhard. I do have the Empire buff on him, and I'm going to be taking that out because I don't want, well, let's have a look at our team that we're fighting against. Do I see any attack priority? I mean, there's a Lancer. Yeah, for the most part, we're just going to bank on Basil's buff, and we're really just using that for the stats. So I'm going to take Bernhard's out. And let's see. You know what, just in case, let's make him a tank this time around. I haven't really got to do too much with his tank ability. So I have Sunshade here, which will help with some survivability, and I have this passive Rupture. So I think that's going to be good. And we'll have to see how this goes. I might just get slaughtered in my own video, but I highly, highly doubt it. I put this team up against teams that are equally powered to mine, and I seem to come out on top. I mean, 95% of the time, you know, but you never know. Another thing that's really important here is right here at the very bottom, it says action sequence. This is important if you're going to be doing auto battles. You have to set up in which order your units go, and you can see the order of mine. And the reason I have it like this, Basil goes first. I would usually have my healer go first if my healer was in there, so she could throw up a buff or a miracle or something like that. But instead, I have Basil going first because he's going to use his fusion power. Then Lana, Alt, Leon, and then my tank goes last. And I just put him into this rotation. So this is important, guys, because a lot of times what you're going to want to do is you're going to set up a unit that is going to like throw AoEs and stuff, and you want to make sure that those AoEs get thrown after your fusion power is active and after buffs have been put down on your units. And this is the only thing that's going to let you control any of that. Okay, so we can get into that later if anybody wants to get into the nitty-gritty of it. I can definitely help you out, but we're just going to go ahead and start, and we'll see how this goes. So, and I got no control over this at all. But like I said, I know Basil's going to use his fusion power first. You kind of have to predict what your people are going to do, okay? And you have to get familiar with the AI and see how they run them. So, this guy was smart enough to have a tank out front, but his tank met with my Leon. Oh, that's cool. And Death's Breath. I just got that item on him. It throws a sticky bomb on everybody after he kills somebody, and I think that's really cool. So I haven't really got a chance to see that shine yet. Also, another thing I'd like to point out, Almeta. Almeta is in PvP all the time. You will see her. She's very viable as a PvP character. She does a lot. She doesn't have a range on her heal. Okay, and they're gonna bank. They're gonna bank with their Sherry off of killing my Leon. Oh, look at that! Parry kicked off. So, Bernard, wow, Bernard for the win, man. He just took that Sherry on at full health. I'm gonna have to do some more videos on Bernard tanking. And see right here, I'm surprised my Altamuller didn't use an AoE. So you never know how it's gonna go because he's got Dragon's Breath that he could have thrown there. So you're at the mercy of the AI, but we seem to be doing all right now. Now, granted, this is a team that, I mean, their power level's 15,000 and I'm at 19. So this isn't exactly a shocker. But as far as the AI goes, you know, I've challenged some teams that have a couple thousand power level higher than mine just to see how it would go. I won some, I lost some. Surprisingly, though, you can win just because somebody else's team is 3,000 points more than yours. That does not mean that it's going to be a blowout. You still have a chance. I mean, the AI can play really dumb for them, and it can play really smart for you. At the same time, man, there's been a couple of PvP fights where I took on a team that I thought I was just going to obliterate, and everything just went to hell, and I lost. So let's see. We got that done. We got double the points, so that's great. Let's see where my man is over here. See this guy, he's at 20,000. He's at a higher attack than me. Let's do this one for fun. We'll see. I'm gonna roll the dice. We're gonna see how this one goes. Just to give you guys an idea. I don't know if any of you out there, because I know some people told me, they're like, I don't even mess with PvP. You know, when I get to a higher level and I can be relevant, then I'll start doing it. But really, you're wasting resources. You're screwing yourself. Start getting all the rewards from PvP now. You don't have to go in there and beat people. You can just turn this AI on and let it auto battle for you. Worst case scenario, you're still gonna get something. You know, that's important to remember. I was kind of hoping Leon would get up there to Sherry, but this ain't looking pretty. The other thing too, something I noticed, and this is why I don't use Ledin in PvP, is your Ledin will never cast guard on himself on his way to combat. But the enemy's Leon always will, and that's always bothered me. I've wrote support about this, and they asked me for a screenshot, and I'm like, how do I get a screenshot of a character not doing a move? And they still haven't wrote me back on that one. So, but yeah, as I predicted, we're getting obliterated here. We are getting obliterated. I don't think there's any coming back from this. We didn't take their Sherry out. It's a little too late to be throwing AoEs. Because really, originally, I set this team up to throw AoEs and to kind of take people out with that. As see, Liana here, she should have thrown Black Hole. And it's just too late, baby. It's too late. It's not even enough. Oh. Alt's bossing up a little bit, though. You'd be surprised, though. Some of these things, man, they get close. It just gets ridiculous. Just watching your little team out there. Ooh, let's see. Well, see, their Leon doesn't even really have that much health. It's his little angels that are keeping him going. See, now in a game like this, yeah, a healer would become useful because it's already the third or fourth turn, but typically from what I've seen, these things are over in 2 rounds. If you're not completely outpowered, you can throw 2 or 3 AoEs, and by then their healer's dead and their team is pretty much obliterated. Honestly, I don't think I did that bad here. You know, considering their power level is about 3,000 more than mine. I'm also not using my top 5 for this. So what it has me ranked at, the power level, that's not actually the power level that I'm bringing to these fights. And like I said, a lot of that's because I've been taking my healer out, messing around with stuff. So this should go to show you that it can go both ways. But regardless, I still always manage to get more points than I lose. And then we'll go right, as long as you go down this middle path, you're going to have an abundance of points. And in this middle path, I mean, here's another dude with 15,000 power. I should being the word there, be able to crush this guy. So we'll see how that works. But I wanted to give you guys a little bit of insight on PvP and the easy thing to do. Now, I don't go this route every time. Like I said, sometimes, you know, I want to actually sit down and play a game with somebody, maybe shit talk them a little bit, get in their head. I had one dude rage quit because I told him I was actually driving while I was playing him, and yeah, I was winning, and he quit the match. It was great. So it's part of the reason why I love this game so much. Ooh, Freya. Freya, I'm sorry, honey. My Leon ignores like 15% defense, so he's actually all right when getting confronted with a tank. And share here, you're going to find a lot of shares in PvP, and that's because they're banking on the fact that they can hit you and kill you, and they can get an extra action. And a lot of times, share is deadly with that. She could take out 2 or 3 of your people, and you know that's bad. But share is also a glass cannon. You know, the way I have it set up is I know my Leon is going to get destroyed. He's the first one in there. But I also know that he's going to do so much collateral damage along the way that by the time my other characters start throwing their AoEs, you've taken so much damage from taking on my Leon that you're not going to survive the AoEs. And that's kind of what just happened here. So they have 2 characters left, and I got 4 of mine. Or, well, I'm down to, yeah, 4. So, and that's the way she goes. So, cool. So I'm getting my points, and you guys should be too. Don't sleep on these, okay? There's a lot of good stuff that you get from these. They don't seem like they accumulate all that fast, because you're only getting, 5 points at a time, 3 points at a time. But at the end of the day, they tally up PvP, and in your mailbox you'll get, if you're in the right threshold of points, you'll get like 100 other PvP tokens or whatever. And these things can be used. They can be used to get a lot of things. Let's just take a look here at what we got. And I believe it's honor. Yes, we earn honor from fighting PvP. So you can get the SR accessory gift box for 200 honor. Don't get that, okay? Because it's always just going to be SR value. The random accessory gift box for 300, you have a chance at getting SSR gear. A chance. All right, now if you pay 1,000, you're guaranteed to get an SSR accessory from this gift box, but that costs 1,000. Okay, so what I do is I do try to save up for that one because I know it's guaranteed to be an SSR item. Along the way, though, I always pick up the Trinity voucher. Always go for the rune stone first, and whatever you got left over, throw it on the random accessory gift box. Do not get the SR one. So word to the wise, but there's definitely good stuff you can get here. We're talking about rune stones, and we're talking about SSR equipment, which drives this game completely. So guys, get in there, set up a PvP team for auto, and set up the order in which you want your characters to go. Predict their movement, predict how the dumbass AI is going to play them, and that's how you're going to bank a bunch of points. So I'll let you get to it now. Mobile Gamers Unite, I'm out. Remember to subscribe, add a comment, let me know what you think. Later.